Hey, what up, Chandel? How you doing? Good to see ya. Good to see ya. First one in here. Just getting rolling. We got Hoof Pickles on tonight. Hello. How you doing, Eric? What do you say, Haley Beth? You're here, Haley Beth?
Hello, Ginn.
Hi, Haley Beth. How are you?
I'm good.
Yeah, you doing all right? Glad to hear it. What you been up to today? S.A., you got to call me pretty soon, boo. I need you to give me a call.
Sorry about the voice, but
What about the voice?
my soundboard.
What about it?
Today I flow stated with fire SC Fire Puppet.
Right on.
And Sky from the other app, and we just
Awesome. Have you heard about our friend S.A. Artistries?
Yes, of course.
Right on, S.A. I'll do that.
Hey,
did you
Seth.
know that?
Hey, Art Sister. How are you?
Hey, what's up, Aaron? Hey, did you know that S.A. has a show on Saturday, August the 23rd in Marietta, Georgia at the Heart, Soul, and Art Gallery? Did you know that?
Yes, but
Yes?
I can't be there for SA because I can't drive.
Oh, well, I mean, if you started walking now, you might get there in time.
Might. Hi, Haley Booth.
What up, dude?
Hi, Chad. How are you?
I'm good, dear. Severed. Ash, man, what up, dude? Aaron Hammond's in the hizzy.
Hey, man. How's it going?
Okay.
This guy.
How about we do that for now?
Charge my phone.
Okay. Tell me, guys, when you're ready. I'm all hooked up.
Okay, we're ready and all hooked up.
Hi. Welcome to the Ginn Project Show. My name is Haley Beth, owner of Haley Dot. I'm a diamond dot artist. I have a show every Friday night at 6:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tonight's featured guest is Hoof Pickles. Take it away, Ginn.
Good job, Haley Beth. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. Y'all, Haley.
I have something to tell you guys.
Okay.
If you're not tapping, you're
Napping.
napping.
That's right. That's right. Get it together, people. Get it
Y'all
together.
just tap it out. Tap it out, y'all. Tap it out.
Good job, Haley. Haley has a show on Fridays at 6 p.m. Eastern time. A lot of time you'll catch some of these folks in the chat and this guy down here there. And it's usually a lot of fun. So Haley's going to go down in the basement and she's going to roam around down there and make sure everybody's behaving
Maybe
themselves.
I'll cause some business in the...
Maybe
Bye,
so.
Haley.
Bye, Haley.
Bye.
Thank you, Haley.
I,
Hoof Pickles is with us too. I see her already. Fellas,
yes.
Yo.
so I did not schedule a highlighted artist today. I think that Chad and Ashman are going to be our highlighted artists today. Y'all been working on some really amazing stuff. And Chad can talk us through what he's got going on. You don't have to show us anything, buddy. That's all right.
I was going to say, buddy, it's out in my to my
That's
studio,
okay.
but man,
That's okay.
I'm
That's
working
okay.
on a lot of stuff.
I know. Well, I thought maybe you could tell us a little bit about some of the stuff you got going on, what you might be working on. And Ashman might be willing to show us some of the stuff he's been working on and reiterate like how to get in touch with him. Because both y'all been crushing it, man. Both y'all's lives been great. Whenever Chad goes on, he's crushing it. And when Ashman's doing his thing now, come on, look. Ashman ain't no joke, dude. Y'all better not be sleeping on Ashman because he's a bad, bad man.
That would just be silly.
And we're going to talk tonight a little bit about Hoof Pickles was talking about like gatekeeping, and the context that she was talking about it in was like in leather work and how even like some of the kind of standards of the industry, you might say, some of the imagery and that kind of thing tends to be sort of feminine, flowers and stuff like that. And she's trying to make stuff that's a little more guy friendly, you might say. And we're okay with flowers and all that, but some dudes just don't want flowers on their wallet. You know what I mean?
Right.
Or whatever. So I thought that would be a conversation. We have that conversation quite a bit off and on, the three of us, and trying to, just navigate the world that we're in. So I thought that might be an interesting conversation too. Y'all, she does crochet. She restores cars. She does upholstery, leather work, airbrush. She's a sculptor, Chad. She was a rancher. Hoof Pickles.
I did not know
the
that.
name has to do with ranching.
I did not know
that. Huh?
I was unaware of that.
So look, this lady. Hey, look. I said Ashman was a bad, bad man. Hoof Pickles is a bad, bad. Look, she taught her husband how to weld. Now, how cool is her husband? That's also something that should be pointed out, how cool that is. But she also taught him how to airbrush.
That's what's
Come
up.
on.
That's nice.
That's
I'm
what's
not
up.
gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. When I was choosing guests, she was already on my radar.
Nice.
And I opened up her page, and one of the things I saw that I had not seen before was some welding art. And I went,
Hey, Bob.
There you go.
I was already on board, but now I'm like 110. And I
Yes.
immediately was like,
Yes.
she's a multifaceted artist. Very amazing.
Really, really, really cool. Yeah, does a whole bunch of different stuff. And the other thing, man, she's
Hot rods and stuff.
she been through some stuff. Y'all, you would be shocked. She's been through some stuff in her life, and for her to be such an amazing person there's a tribute to who she is too. So that's amazing. We are glad to have you, Hoof Pickles, and Bob Not So Ross. Good to see you, buddy. That print is looking amazing,
What up,
dude.
Bob?
That's looking dope. Bob Not So Ross is working on the prints, y'all. Y'all know that's my dude, man. I like some prints now. Look out.
Look out.
So, fellas, what I've been working on is guitars and like some kitchen items that I do with Severed, and I'm about to be ramping up some stuff that I'm doing with Can Do and Moose. So we staying busy, but y'all see what I do all the time. So Ashman,
Yes.
you're up, man. You willing to share with us? Like this dude started wood. He started wood burning like 3 days ago.
Yeah, like I think it was this afternoon. He's already done like
I might
87
have
of
been.
them.
Yeah, I think
Top
he
notch.
started. Yes.
Top notch.
It's only been a couple days,
So,
and it might have been. I might have been within the last 24 hours, even.
No, for real. How
I
long
don't
has it
know.
been, Ash? Not very long. How long has it been?
About a little over 2 weeks now. So, like 2.5 weeks, I think, something like that.
Now, if he has it in the vicinity of him, because I didn't warn these guys at all. Dude, let's put Ashman in the big box. See if we can get him even bigger than that.
Hear that? All right.
Let's see here. Bang! A big Ashman. There we go.
There we
These
go.
are wood burnings, y'all. This man just started wood burning 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. So
Hold on, man. Let us take it in, brother. Let us take it in. We're not in any hurry.
I have so many of them.
It's like I have 87 of them, Ginn.
Look at this,
one.
dude.
For real.
This is the one I'm currently
y'all.
working on. I don't know
Those
why
are
I
dots.
said-
Man.
Yeah,
Those are little dots.
Yep. I'm stippling.
Stippling, I
everything.
think he calls it.
Yep.
Mmm.
Kicking ash. That's right, Lenny.
This one
Poetry
I'm gonna-
veins. How's
This
it
one's
going?
going to Mondo.
Yo.
Mondo
Trade.
art right
You
there.
believe that? I'm gonna
What up,
trade
Mondo?
something for one of his pieces. That's freaking awesome.
That's amazing, man. That's really cool. Mondo's another amazing artist. He was on a couple weeks ago.
Oh yeah, dude's amazing.
Chad, come on, man. I mean, this guy, 2 weeks. Okay, 2.5.
Man.
This one's going out to Johnny Ray.
Yo.
Johnny Ray. We love you, sis.
Yo.
You got
You in here,
this.
Johnny Ray?
You got this, Johnny Ray.
You in here, Johnny Ray?
I haven't seen her in here, but
Okay.
We got that little dude.
dude, I love that guy, man.
And this one is based off my cat, Cowboy.
They're so like crisp and clean, dude.
Aren't they?
I don't know if that means like.
And here's the Ginn version of that,
I
of that
love it.
piece.
I love that piece.
Oh my gosh.
I like you
Kicking
got the
ass.
expression, man. You got the expression. He's like that guy.
I love that one, man. God, I love them all.
Yeah.
though. That one's pretty
That one has a lot of
exceptional, too.
personality, dude.
And some of
Yeah,
these
it
are
does.
heading to my website, like the skulls and stuff like that.
Wow. I haven't seen that one
Dude.
yet, man.
And the little gnome guys and stuff like that are heading to the Jenna Wright Art Gallery.
Ooh-wee. What's up, Kira?
The Jenna Wright Art Gallery. I
This
know
one-
those people. Dude,
One's
I
gonna be
love
heading
that
to
guy,
North Carolina.
man. Y'all, look, note. Selfishly, I'm going to point out the headstock on that says TGP.
You get that in there?
That's what's up.
That's awesome.
And then here's Sticky O'Malley.
Oh,
Dude.
Vicky O'Malley.
Sticky. Good old Sticky.
Sticky.
Yeah, so
Getting to watch him do these, man, is amazing.
Severed and Eve's artistry are the ones that got me into wood burning. So I saw their amazing work and I went, okay, I gotta try it.
Severed's in the chat, I believe.
Yeah.
All right, so it wasn't severed.
Yo.
Dude, look at that, Chad.
Wow.
And I'll tell you my favorite. Out of all of them I've done, this is my favorite. That guy right there.
That dude is pretty amazing.
I like him a lot.
Yeah, I like that one a lot. What up, Ty?
That's what I meant.
What
I
up,
was
Ty?
like, I gotta hurry through these. There's a
I
lot.
like that one a lot. I like that little dude, man. He's like,
He's cute. If I could say so myself.
Yeah.
Man,
dude, 2.5 weeks. All of this.
dude.
Look at the beard
That
on
one.
that guy.
I've seen that one, but oh my god, dude, that one's off the chain.
That one's fantastic, man. That's one of my favorites too, man. That one's up there.
And then this is what they look like framed.
Dude.
Nice.
Ashman, ladies and gentlemen. Good, Ty. Good.
So yeah, that's what I've been up to. Been doing a lot of that
So
and hanging out
clean.
with some folks late night, like the Ginn Project and Eve's Artistry, and Zach when he pops through, and it's been a lot of work, right, man? We're getting
Yeah,
stuff
a lot
done.
of fun,
We're
man.
getting stuff
Spurs and Laura and Freak and
done.
Chuck
Man, all the people
and
in the chat
Chip.
hanging
Some
out
of
with
those
us.
folks they've been carrying us. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. We get work
yeah.
done because they handle the chat. Hey, can
keep
do.
us
Right?
alive.
Yes.
Hey, Ken,
yes.
how's it going? So yeah,
Well, Ash, man, it's my understanding that you also have a podcast called Genteel Poverty that you do with your wife, and it is really good, man.
Thanks, man. It's pretty good. We handle a lot of different subjects like marriage and friendships and aging parents, that sort of thing. So we have a lot of subjects we discuss, and the next one's going to be limits. So when my wife is feeling up to it. So, but yeah, so we've been doing that a lot, and you can find that on just about any platform outside of Pandora and YouTube. But yeah, so it's pretty fun to do too.
It's really interesting too, man. Your wife's such a smart lady. You're a smart guy. I pick on you, but you actually you got some good thoughts in your brain up there. You also do a show on Wednesday nights called Ashman's Basic Art Show, and that comes on at 7:00 Eastern time, and you generally go for about an hour or so, and then you'll bring a couple folks up if you know them. It's got to be people that
gotta be
you're kind of familiar with, because we've just had bad experiences bringing knuckleheads up, and then they do goofy stuff. And,
I brought Chad up a couple times, and
Big mistake.
go sideways, right? Yeah, things just go
I'm
off the
lucky
rails.
to get him, man. He's like TikTok Bigfoot, man. Hard to catch.
Chad is the TikTok Bigfoot for sure. Like, if you don't catch him on the Ginn project or on something Ashman's doing or a flow state, then you ain't gonna see him.
Oh my gosh!
Hey,
and Ezra comes in.
How's it going, man?
Oh my god!
And
you're mirrored, Ginn.
thank you, Ezra. Appreciate you. Ooh, let me unmirror real quick if it'll let me do that. There we go.
Thank you, Ezra.
I'm
There
ready
you
for
go.
you today, Ezra.
Thank you, dude.
So I'm ready for
Appreciate
you
you.
today.
Y'all, this dude right here, there would not be a Ginn Shot Project show if it wasn't for Ezra. So y'all, that's the only agent I've ever rode with, and that's the only one I will ride with. If something happens to Ezra, I just won't have one.
Yep. No joke. I love it.
That's my dude right there. That's my dude right there. So Ashman also, we're on late at night a lot, man, and I'm gonna give my time, which is Eastern time, 1:00 in the morning, and that would be Monday night, Tuesday morning. We do one when Ashman runs live, and I jump in there with him. And then on Wednesday nights, I run it live, and he jumps in with me. And then on Friday nights, we do that same thing. We alternate over on Big O. Then you can catch him Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at that same time. And it's the Ashman's Basic Art Show late night. And you'll often catch him with Eve's Artistries. And they make some amazing art, and usually my side is hurting by the time I leave there from laughing so much. Chad Squatch! Chad Squatch!
Chad Squatch.
Oh my
Chad
god!
Squatch!
That's perfect.
That is the new
That's what
thing.
it is.
That's it. We're adopting that. Chad Squatch. Lenny,
Chad Squatch.
I love
Nice.
it. So, anybody that's one of the night walkers like Chad used to be, stop in, check us out. I'm usually working on guitars. You got Ashman. We just showed you a highlight reel of art that he's worked on the last 2 weeks. And it's a lot of fun. So, y'all follow Ashman, turn on your notifications. This is our dude right here. Anybody that don't know, if you don't realize yet, this is our guy right here. Like, that dude came in and rode on a white horse, had his knight armor on.
And he does have knight armor. I've seen it.
He got on the spaceship,
Beautiful.
flew to Andromeda, broke Chad out, brought him back, and then we had to negotiate a few things, but y'all might have noticed the lights in the sky. That was Ashman.
Parlay.
Parlay.
All right. So I'm going to bring up Chad Rev Art now. Thank you, Ash. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you, man.
Thank you, guys.
Chad Rev Art, look, man, I know you got a little secret
man?
sauce you've been working on, but you have been talking
lot of
publicly
secret
about
sauce.
doing some stuff with your sculptures. I'm wondering
Yeah.
if there's any part of that you might be willing to kind of explain to us what this whole thing you've been working on is?
I am working on a lot of stuff actually. And,
Well, just
you
give
were
us
talking
one or
about
two.
like gatekeeping. I'm really glad that I know a lot of folks that don't do that, because I am learning so many things right now through YouTube University and through my awesome friends who have more wisdom on these subjects than myself. And I guess a lot of the things that I've been getting together for my metal project that I've been talking about recently, hopefully that will lead me into doing some bronze work. I've got side quests that have come out of it, and I will say that yesterday I ordered a couple of different kinds of clay, including some porcelain. So that should be a lot of fun.
Are you making something for our favorite whimsical little birdie? What has the porcelain skin? See what I did there,
The
bro?
porcelain.
See what I did there? Come on,
Oh
man.
gosh.
Come on, that's
so
A-game
funny.
stuff right there.
That was a game. That was a game. But yeah, so I'm intaking a lot of knowledge. My brain is sponging up so much that I'm like bursting at the seams right now. But yeah, the Kira has been a big help on some of this stuff. Now that you mention her, that's funny. But yeah, hopefully, I don't know if I'm being good at it or not, but I'm gonna be doing some work in some stoneware and some porcelain, some things of that nature. And yes, Laura the half goth. That's funny.
Well, I wasn't worried about you not having any art with you because you've been working on sculptures, but sometimes your paintings don't get highlighted much. And I happen to
Yeah.
have a few right behind me here. So maybe
Yeah.
if you don't mind, I'm going to pull them off the wall.
Do it.
And
I'm
you
gonna tell you about
kind
more
of tell
stuff
us what
while
the
you're grabbing
title
them.
is and kind of what it's about. And,
Sure.
and then these are going to be trivia questions at some point. So y'all pay attention.
No, there you
If
go.
you don't know the names of these, you're going to miss the trivia question.
Yes, Kira, black ice porcelain.
Cool.
Oh, that is
I'm gonna
anxiety.
I'm gonna put me in a bigger box just for a minute here, Chad,
Do
so
it,
I can
do
show
it,
your
do it.
stuff, buddy.
Yeah,
So here's
That-
a piece by
Cool.
Chad Rev Art.
I love that.
that original is located currently at the Jenner Wright Art Gallery for your viewing and purchasing pleasure. That's part of a series I kind of did to vent off some cancer and chemo based feelings. I guess I could put it that way. But it's not just specifically for that. But that is one of the catalysts that caused that. Along with probably at least another couple that he's about to show.
Laura wants to know if you have prints there too.
Yes, I do have prints there. However, I do need to replenish the anxiety prints for them because they did sell out. I will get more over there. This one
Brother,
is
selling out.
Sell out.
Waiting. Sell out, mother. This one is titled Waiting. Again, the original is also in the General Right for your viewing and purchasing pleasure.
Like
along with
wading
prints.
through water. Waiting,
Like I
not
was
like
about
waiting.
to say that. Not like waiting on you, but like wading through water. As you notice, there's a cork and a chain in the bottom corner. The original actually has a physical cork and physical chain protruding from it. This would fall directly back into the same collection I was just talking about earlier. It was probably spurred forth by leftover emotions of some chemo and cancer and dealing with my other friends who are dealing with that kind of stuff. But it also kind of refers back to like waiting and unknown stuff. That's usually the worst part. Like when you're waiting on biopsy results or you're waiting to find out what kind of treatment you're going to get or so forth. Kind of insert your own wading through that mire while you're waiting. And yeah, there's prints and stuff there available. I work in acrylic, for those of you who don't know. Not those. It'll be fun. It'll be fun. What you got next? Oh, that one's called Panic. And it falls in that same collection. Obviously, I put them all together. I put the genre right by, all together. This is the same thing. This is, I don't know, this is my rendition of what it feels like to get a sudden panic when you're dealing with either being neurospicy. Hi, my name's Chad. Or if you're dealing with some severe stress in your life, be it sickness, death, worry.
It's palpable, man. You could feel it coming off of those pieces.
Yeah, you can. That was
Thank you.
That was powerful.
Thank you.
This is not a print, y'all. This is an original.
And there will not be prints of that. So that is not available unless you can talk Ginn out of it. That one was specifically done for Ginn. I had him in mind when I put the charcoal on the paper. However, I did not know what was coming out. And that's what came out. And he named it, I do believe, didn't he?
Emergence.
There you have it.
Because what I take out of this image, man, it makes me think of like that other side we're always trying to tamp down. You and I, Chad. And
coming up out of the nothing. Yep.
Yeah, that side that's always trying to emerge that we try to keep in check.
Yeah. Yep.
Emergence by Chad
Monster. It's the monster under the bed, but it's in your head. I would like to take a moment of my time here, if you don't mind. I plug my stuff when I'm on here. You guys know who I am for the most part. If you don't, that's cool too. But I would like to take a moment of my time to talk about somebody else, if you don't mind.
There you go, buddy. Floor is yours, sir.
I believe, was it last week that Johnny Ray was on?
Yes.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes, sir. Hey, Eve.
Okay.
Yes.
Our dear friend Johnny Ray. If you guys were here last week, you saw her situation. If not, you are more than welcome to go over to the Y-Tubes. Again, put it up over there. I have been speaking with her a lot by text messages and phone calls and what have you, trying to give her a little help because I know how lost paintbrush, as I say that, comes up. That's really cool. The universe, see? Woo! I know how lost a person can feel when they're in the middle of all this stuff. So here's the thing. I'm working on putting a GoFundMe together for her. It should be up very, very, very soon. She found out and told me today, and I'm going to go ahead and let the cat out of the bag. I didn't ask her permission, but it's all going to be on the GoFundMe. So there you have it. She starts chemo on Monday. And it's a lot, guys. I won't go through all the details of all the different chemicals they're going to be putting, but I will tell you this. I did a painting that was inspired by one specific chemotherapy drug. And it was so bad that I did a painting about it, and I did it in my own red groovy, if you know what I'm saying. I didn't even, it wasn't even in acrylic, okay? It was my own sauce. It is an awful, awful thing, and that is one of the things that she's going to be taking. She's going to be doing 8 days in a row, and then on the 9th day, she's going to be doing a really terrible drug called Neulasta. It's awful, guys. I did it, and it is a nightmare fuel, okay?
That's what you hated the most.
2 drugs that I hated the most, she's going to start Monday, okay? And so that's 9 days in a SWAT. And she does them in 21-day cycles. So you can imagine by the time all these drugs kick in and then start to wear off, she's going to be back in there. She has an extremely rough road ahead of her, okay? And at the end of those, it's like 4 months of that, okay? So when you think she's on 9 days, but, oh, well, she doesn't start for another. No, that's suffering in that other spot, okay? And then she's going to have to go to a city 3 hours away from her after all of that, and she has to stay there for 3 weeks. Under 24-hour surveillance, where they're going to be giving her blood transfusions every single day. And they're going to be giving her a bone marrow transplant. And if you don't know what that is, guys, look it up. It's awful. So, she works with children. Her mother is fighting for disability right now. She is the sole caretaker of her mother. She is the sole income of her home. So, I'm trying to get this up and running for her, and I promise as soon as I can make all of the ends meet with the accounts and all that stuff, it will be up. But in the meantime, if you guys can, I don't care if it's $1, she has all the stuff over in her link tree on her page. As soon as I have her other stuff set up, I will also put it there. May not be my business to tell, but I am also trying to help her find an attorney because they're fighting for this disability. Like, it's not like they're sitting. They're trying really hard. So starting Monday, she can't work. And that's at least like, that's just 5 months of treatment. And I'll tell you guys, it takes me a good solid year to even get back after treatment completely stops to get back to any kind of normalcy. So you guys give her some love if you can. If there's a piece that she has that you guys want to pick up, please do that. If you got an extra buck, throw that her way. I'm going to set up as much stuff as I possibly can for her, and this is one of the times you'll be hearing about her and what's going on from me. I'm going to kind of push this as hard as I can, so if you guys get tired of hearing about it, I'm sorry, but I'm going to keep telling you about it. So that's my piece. Please go to Johnny Ray's page, maybe pick up a piece of art, maybe leave a piece of love, hit up her PayPal or her Cash App, and we'll have a GoFundMe set up very soon. So y'all are a very strong force, and I've seen it for a year and a half. So if there's anything I know that when somebody's in need, even if it's just mental health help, y'all are where it's at. So thank you ahead of time. Thank you for stuff you've done before. Here's to our community. Now, dude, I love y'all. Let's have a good show.
Thank you, man. Thank you for everything you do for us. You're a beautiful person.
It's all y'all, man. Love y'all. That's for real. For sure, bro. Wouldn't have it any other way. Scream it from the mountaintops. Our community is the community.
All right, guys. So y'all know Johnny Ray. There's nothing else I can add to that, man. Do what y'all do. We're gonna switch gears here a little bit. Man, that's heavy.
Sorry to sideswipe you there, Ginn, man. I've been working on.
No, I knew we had to. I knew we had to talk about some stuff, man. I knew. I was prepared, and it's still tough. Thank you, everybody that's in here. All you beautiful people. Chipster, Crimson Rose, Can Do, Lenny, Kira. We love you, Kira. Mama T, Burnham. Good to see you, Burnham. We love all y'all, actually. But Kira knows what I'm talking about. Severed Art. Appreciate you, sis. Eve's Artistry. You know we love you. Mrs. DeFufu. Good to see you. Good to see you. So, tonight, guys, we got somebody on here that's incredible. Hoof Pickles is one of those folks, and if I could I get somebody to go ahead and send her up? Yeah. Can you do that for us, Haley, please? Let's make sure we got her mic check and we got her camera working and everything, and we get her over in a big box. But before we do that, I want to talk a little bit about it's going to be a heavy night in that regard, because like I said, we're going to have a little conversation about gatekeeping and some other things like that. But this is a phenomenal lady, guys. We're lucky to have her on. She is a humanitarian. She's had a fencing company, a moving company. She's a welder. She's crochets. She restores cars and builds trailers and all kinds of stuff like that. Restores motorcycles. Does upholstery work. Her leather work's incredible, and that's kind of what we're framing that conversation about gatekeeping around, is some of the stuff that happens in leather work. Airbrushing, sculptor. Hoof Pickles, that name comes from the fact that she's a rancher. So this lady, she's like a Renaissance woman for 2025. So I'm excited to have her on. I'm really glad that Chad reached out. She was someone that was on my radar as well. And I'm super stoked that Chad actually reached out there and she was willing to accept an invitation and come hang out with three knuckleheads.
Thank you so
Hoof
much.
Pickles, can we hear you?
Uh-oh.
She's frozen.
What froze it up?
Well, that's why we
Hey,
do
at least
this
she's
show.
got a nice smile in the freeze
She
frame.
does.
Yeah.
Get a screenshot.
She doesn't
looks happy.
freeze like Chad does.
I know. I freeze in like distress.
Let me see here. All right, let's switch it around, see what
We'll
happens.
flip it around.
Yeah, she's got a Haley, or if somebody could drop her down, let's try again. Or Hoof Pickles, if you can
got
hear
you.
us, try to drop down.
Okay,
Because on my
dropping you
screen,
down. Yeah, it went
Thank you, brother.
clear.
Yeah, it went clear. She she also apparently could go invisible, y'all. So
Right?
So don't piss her off.
She is secretly David Copperfield. There
Right,
shows my age.
She could disappear. That's amazing. Oh, that's awesome. We'll give her just a second to get back. It's storming where I'm at.
Yeah.
So it might be storming where she's at too. We'll make it work
Hey.
though. We'll get it sorted out.
I bet you guys would like to know who next week's guest is, wouldn't you? Well, guess what? So would Ginn. Ginn would love to know too, but he won't know.
It
until
can't be
next
anybody
week.
too important, otherwise you'd want to advertise it.
Surprising. Surprising.
I'm messing with you, man.
Hey, Ash. Make sure we clip that part right there so we can fold it up for him to eat next week.
It'll be delicious.
Clips and dip next week, everybody. Clips and dips.
Okay, can
All
y'all hear me
right.
now?
We hear you.
Okay, my shop is insane. Sorry.
It's all good. No worries. That's
Metal
why we
building,
do the that's why we do the check it out part. Make sure everything's gonna work right.
Check it out.
I know, it's like, what is happening right now?
If it goes
Okay.
bad, we'll just have to
You'll see me now.
reschedule it for next
Can
week
y'all
and
hear
let
me?
Chad talk about himself for an hour and a half.
Yeah, I'm the surprise guest next week, guys. It's me. I'm gonna interview me about me
Nice.
for me next week.
Nice.
All right.
Ooh.
I think it's catching up with you. There's a little bit of a delay.
It's really
it's
warm.
like hit and miss on the freezing, but let's give it just a second. It might clear up a little bit here.
About my shop.
Yeah,
Yep.
I had to put a booster in my shop. I
Hey,
walked
old
out there and
Western.
it just went out.
Yep, she's frozen again. Uh-oh.
Yep.
Oh no.
Sorry. Are we good?
Oh,
There
I
she
heard-
is.
Are we good? Can y'all hear me? Maybe.
There you go. It
Are we
seems
good?
like it's catching up with you now. It seems like it's catching up with you now. There's movement and I can hear you.
yeah.
Okay, good.
You went invisible there for a minute, which I do not have in my notebook here. You did not share with me that you could also turn invisible. That seems like some superhero type shit right there.
It's a metal shop, so it's fun.
Well, it seems to be working now. Worst case scenario, if you freeze up, we'll let you know. We'll you try to drop back down again. We'll get you back in here. We'll figure it out.
Yep.
I'm sorry.
Oh, this is part of it. It's part of how things go.
Oh yeah.
So it's really awesome to have you on. Thank you so much for being willing to come on and talk to us. I'm really inspired by what you do, in part because it's really difficult to do a variety of things well, and it's especially difficult to sell that art. And what I mean by that is Chad's had to deal with this, Hash just had to deal with this, excuse me. But they're both men that are really good at several different things. And there is a mindset among some people that if you do more than one thing, you can't possibly be that good at it. And the reality is you're just good at a lot of stuff.
Yes.
and I just love it. I think it's so cool because that's why I like to collaborate so much. That's why I like the collaborative nature of what we do. Because you get to draw on all this expertise, and it's almost more fun when Chad or Ash are trying to figure something out. Just kind of watching them learn and pick up stuff is a good way for me to learn. So I just wanted to kind of give you credit in the world that we live in, where women still aren't treated the way they should be, and that's my opinion. You're out there on the front. You weld, you do leather work, you restore cars, you do a bunch of guy stuff. I mean, in quotes, guy stuff. You know what I'm saying, right? I was in the fighter world, right? That is a male-dominated world. And you and I had a conversation about. I was down in Biloxi doing war games one year, and a female F-16 pilot whooped all of them. And there were some bruised egos out there on that flight line. So that's what I mean by that. There are some areas that are just male-dominated, and it is difficult for women to operate in those areas. And you've got 3 or 4 of them that you operate in. So welcome.
I do.
Yep.
I appreciate it. It's an honor to be on here.
We're thrilled to have you.
Yes.
Ash and Chad, I just want Chad. Let's give Ash a second here to give a couple comments, and then Chad, because Chad's the one that actually officially reached out and made it all happen. So we'll give him a minute of introductions, and then we'll get down to business. And now it looks like everything's cleared up, and it's kind of working like it should. And I believe you're probably from the same planet Chad's from. So they just turned the dial a little bit and got things straightened out. Mr. Ashman.
That lovely Oklahoma.
Right?
I am blown away by the amount of things you could do. I mean, I love it. I love when people explore everything they can and learn from everything they can and put it towards everything else they're doing. It's fantastic. And of course, you're a welder. My father was a welder. So that's somewhere. That's a place in my heart right there. And you work on vehicles. I love vehicles. So I love old cars. I love old hot rods.
Yes.
I've rebuilt cars, so love everything about it. And your airbrushing and leather work, and wow, just very cool. Now that you're doing leather work, I think I have to get some leather working tools.
Oh boy!
Here it goes again.
Oh no!
Oh no!
There he goes
no!
again.
But thank you for coming on here, even though this guy asked you to come on here. I mean, I get it.
We won't hold that against you.
We won't hold that against you.
I had to throw your name around, Ash, to talk her into it. I was like, come on, Ash Man will be there. She's like,
I figured.
oh my gosh. I was being kind of selfish when I decided to book Hoof Pickles. First and foremost, every time she comes through, she like brightens up everybody's day. She's always like so positive, coming in swinging with happiness. And not gonna lie, that's what made me go, "What's up over there?" And I saw a lot of artwork that, well, frankly, I would like to hear about you doing and see your process and things of that nature. You got the creepy stuff. You're working on awesome cars. Like, I saw a little bit of tack welding art that you did, and I was just like, yep, that was it. Like, so I was being selfish, hoping that you'd come on the show and I'd ask you. I was like, I want to know more about this right here. I think maybe everybody else would too. So,
well, Chad
thanks
Squatch,
for agreeing.
you did good, buddy.
Thanks. I got a couple more tricks up my sleeve this month. Hope it'll be good.
Well, Hoof Pickles, let's start at the beginning. You were born in an incubation tube on Andromeda, and then they sent you to Earth. And then once you got to Earth, Take us from there. I think it was you were about 16 years old, and you were in Colorado, and you had a fencing business. And I guess maybe that would be as good a starting place as any, unless you got somewhere else that I was supposed to start that I'm messing up here.
Um, well, I graduated high school when I was 16, and then I started my own fencing business. I've been welding
Slacker,
since I was 10. So from the age of 16 to 18, I was doing that. And then my dad was stationed in Afghanistan. He had a 4-year tour he had to do. And my mom had breast cancer, so I moved from Colorado to Oklahoma to take care of her. And so I started another fencing business then. And then I went into the moving business side and started doing that
So
for about
from
11 years.
a very young age, 10 years old, you start welding.
That's awesome.
And yeah, I know, I love
really
it. And
cool.
then, so from a very young age, you were kind of neck deep into working with your hands. And you mentioned your mom. You moved to take care of your mom, and I'd like to remind people that she moved when she was 18 years old back home to take care of her mom, which is no small thing in and of itself. So hats off to you for that. And as you saw the opening of our show tonight, that is a prevalent issue, and cancer is an ugly thing, and it obviously has affected your life. Lost my father to it. My wife lost her mother to it. My mother's had it a few times. So it's pretty bunch of relatives, friends. You have also done some stuff regarding that, and you're a humble person. But let's just say that there are some organizations out there that help people that you've raised money for. Is that fair to say? Can I just put it that way?
Yep.
We don't. I don't want to give too much information out, but I just want the folks to know that you have put your art and your craft and your heart and your soul into projects that were to help other folks. Is that fair to say?
Yeah. And to make it short and sweet, it was a very traumatic experience in my life, and so I created a elephant graveyard coffee table that I welded and engraved, and so I did that for DV for DV survivors, if that's an easy way to put that.
Yes.
So that was my first piece.
And it was a metal
That's what
coffin
got it.
with an elephant on it. I got to see a picture of it. It's really cool. It's really cool. Uh-oh. She froze again, I believe. Oh, there she is.
Oh, it's back. Yeah, it's giving her the static there.
It's giving her the business.
Yeah.
I love Oklahoma Wi-Fi.
Oh yeah.
So she is
I
in
swear
fact
I
in
do.
Oklahoma, y'all.
Am I still frozen?
In the middle of nowhere. We can hear you
Back
now.
and forth.
Old West Armory said, "Say yes, Daisy, because you're awesome."
Am I
Well, dang it.
So
Dang
what
it,
she was
Bobby.
saying, I think I can say it this way. That coffee table that she created raised money for domestic abuse victims, and
You're back.
that is a very personal endeavor. Let me just say it that way. That was your first piece of art out of the gates. It was basically a trauma response. I know that's an oversimplification of it, but simply put, you started arting, in that capacity as a response to trauma that you had been through. And you make this amazing piece of art, and then it ends up selling for a lot of money, and that helped some folks out, which is amazing. Right out of the gates, just right out of the gates. Yes, very first thing. So that kind of got you off and running into the art world, so to speak, I guess. In a very real way. So maybe take us from there, from that point. Now you've got a piece behind you, and
Yeah, I got pieces everywhere, to be honest with you.
no, I meant like after that first piece, you had that behind you, and now you're going on to the next thing. Thank you, Lost Man.
I started doing metal art, doing custom engraving, big pieces, tables, coffee tables, things like that. And then during that process was also restoring floors on top of starting upholstery. So when I started doing the metal art, I wanted to incorporate that in the car world as well. So I do have a couple hoods that I've done, that I've engraved in with Spider-Man, Hulk, all that stuff. And
Yes! Yes, you do. Yes, of course you do.
I need to send you those. With got a couple stop signs, that I've painted with different company logos from different businesses, stuff like that. And then as we were starting to do more restorations and started doing upholstery, also started doing woodworking because I needed to make frames for the art pieces that I was doing. So started making frames for it. So
That's awesome.
So in between doing that stuff and then in our downtime, we were trying to figure out, like, we have a bunch of saw blades. So we were like, well, let's make key holders. Let's take our extra bolts and nuts and stuff like that and turn it into art sculptures.
It's amazing. I love it. Hold it up a little higher and then it won't be behind the chat. There you go. A little higher and then it's not behind. There you go.
I love
That
it.
is so dope.
That's
I love it.
Yo. Yep.
That's so cool. Hello, everybody in the chat. Thank you for coming and supporting Hoof Pickles. Thank you, Laura and Severed. Abstra Motifs is in here supporting you. He's amazing. Some great people in here. Thank you all for coming in and supporting Hoof Pickles. We appreciate it. Burnham. So you started welding when you were 10, and I mentioned this in the intro, and how cool, and you and I talked about this, how cool I thought it was, this and the airbrush thing, that you taught your husband how to weld so that y'all could work on this stuff together. Now, he already was a guy that was art minded, I guess, had the mind for art, and worked with his hands, and is kind of a gritty dude that kind of can get stuff done from what you're telling me, but he was a man enough to learn how to weld from his wife, which I think is fantastic.
I mean, it's if you can teach someone that's a hardcore, in a sense, like very manly. In which, it can be challenging, you just got to give them 4 days and then it's fine. Once you get through the little anger part, because, everybody gets frustrated when they're trying something new and it doesn't click. And, once it clicks, it's like you just send it.
Yep.
Just freaking send it.
Right on.
It's really
There you go.
experiencing and and teaching stuff like that.
Haley Lou.
Because I mean,
That shows
Yes.
a great deal of respect for each other too. That's what I
Yeah.
Yes.
you know.
That's the thing, man.
Yeah.
Yes. That's earned respect right
I
there.
teach
Yeah.
stuff, you know. I mean, that's the way to be, though. I mean, you can't grow unless
Yeah.
you know you're open to learn
Yep.
without having that pride in the way.
Yeah.
So we talked a little bit about this yesterday too. Is I before and after, right after I got out of high school and right after I got out of the Air Force, I worked at a paper mill for a subcontractor, and they had a variety of projects going on, and I got to work with millwrights and high pressure pipe fitters and rod busters and guys that tie steel and concrete workers and like the gamut carpenters. And within each of those groups, there were guys among them that I would consider elite in their profession. The millwrights, the high-pressure pipe welders, those people were no joke. I mean, they were professionals in every sense, but there was an artistry in what they did. You go up in a paper mill that's been there for 100 years or however long, and they're trying to run some new pipe through everything that's already existing. It's insane, the fabrication work that they do. So you're also a fabricator. I mean, by virtue of what you do, you're a fabricator. And that in itself is an art form. I have so much respect for those guys, for all of those different groups of people that I was mentioning. I see them as artists, the ones that are good. There are some that are hacks, right? Like in any profession, but the ones that take their job seriously, the stuff that they can do is amazing.
Yeah. Well, and it's fun to do the tests with it too. You know, where it's like, oh, well, how much penetration can you get on this? Well, let's see what you got, buddy.
Right. Right. Yes.
So like, bring it on.
Let's see what you can do with that little puddle of liquid metal.
Mm-hmm.
So your father is the one that got you into the welding thing then, huh? Is that
My grandfather.
your grandfather?
did.
I'm sorry. Your grandfather got you into it. So how does that work? You just wandered out into the shop one day at 10 years old and grabbed the welder and threw a mask on and were like, all right, pop, pop, here we go.
It was more of like, here, you need to fix this and figure it out. And I was like, okay. And, it was a stick welder then. So,
Yeah.
I mean, trying to figure it out.
That's awesome. That is
Nice.
fantastic.
So to me, and I know that there's a lot of kind of controversy between a MIG and a stick welder, but me personally, considering that you have to move the rod down when you're welding, if you can craft that, MIG welding is nothing.
Right
Oh,
on.
yeah.
So,
I'm used to doing MIG, and I'm getting ready to start teaching myself TIG, so that's going to be fun.
yes, the double-handed, oh yeah. Just make sure you hold the rod with your dominant hand that you got to
Just
move
feed
down.
it. Just feed it
Yeah,
gently,
fun.
just feed it.
gently.
It's hungry. So it depends on how fast you want to go or not. If you just want to send it, crank that baby up.
Yeah. I'm going to be working with like little delicate bronze stuff, so I'm going to be like, be a big change.
Well, and if you need to, just, hold your elbows, have a flat surface. It makes it easier.
Yeah.
Right on.
Kind of like soldering, if that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Right on. Right.
I'm looking
Severed's
forward to
learning.
it.
So, do you also weld like aluminum and stuff like that? Right on. Well,
Yep, I have my little baby welder over there that's strictly for
I
aluminum.
know that's a little more challenging because it's so soft and the melting point is so much
is.
lower. So,
Just shoot through it.
It
Yeah.
reminds me a lot of soldering. So if you can solder, then that's pretty much the same thing.
Yeah.
It's just, really thin stuff. So
gotcha.
you just either got to send it or take your sweet time with it.
Heard that. So, Chad, no pressure. No pressure.
None.
She just told you
None.
exactly how to do it. I don't see what the problem is.
Hey, I ain't too proud. If I got questions, I'll hit her up and
There
ask.
you go. There
Yeah.
you go.
Hey, that's completely fine. That's what I'm here for.
I highly recommend
It's like-
you save her number, Chad.
I'm here to help because it's one of those things that it's so, to me, with all the different stuff that I've done and the experiences that I have with it, everybody doesn't make everything the same way. So with the knowledge that I have, and someone can run with that and create something that's out of this freaking world crazy. I'm like, hey, hit me up. Let's see what we can make. I got some ideas. See if you can send it.
Oh yeah.
Chad, I don't know if I mentioned this earlier, and again, I don't want to say too much, but you're also talking to a survivor, my friend, a fellow survivor.
Most excellent.
We'll go ahead and add that to her resume as well.
Resume of badassness.
Yeah, her resume of badassness includes surviving cancer.
Yep. I had breast cancer at 28. I chopped my titties off, and then, I just kept going. After that, I was like, nah, life's too, no.
Yep.
So that leads me to the reason I wanted to mention that there is this leadership thing that you have, this natural, like you're just a natural leader. It's just who you are. If you'd have been in the military, you'd have got stripes quick, because you teach people, you bring them along, and that's one of the things that we were going to talk about. You mentioned in our conversation, and this was regarding leather work, and it had to do with the car world. And we were going to talk a little bit about gatekeeping, and the reason I wanted to point that out is from the things that you've been through. Cancer wasn't the worst thing, by far. Just to let folks know, but you came through these trials of fire as a helper, as someone who is compassionate and caring and loving, and instead of bitter and pissed off at, oh man, all this is going against me or whatever, and you would have every reason to fall into that trap, truly. But somehow you've managed to come out of all of that as a light, as a beacon, as someone who, anybody I asked, when Chad mentioned that you were going to be on, anybody that I asked had something positive to say. That's not always an indicator, but indicators help. They indicate.
Yeah.
And there was, yeah, she gave me advice on this, or she was telling me how I might be able to do that, or, she was really supportive of what I was doing, or she always comes in. Ash mentioned it, right? She comes in the live when she shows up. It's like she punches you right in the face with kindness. It's awesome. I don't know how she does that, but like she's got this gritty ass way about her, but it comes across as compassion. I love it. But so you're kind of fighting that gatekeeping battle in a lot of ways, and on several different fronts. And like we said, the car stuff, the leather stuff, welding, and a lot of that other kind of more stereotypically male-dominated stuff. So we talked about maybe the way to start that conversation was just to explain to people, first of all, what gatekeeping is, because I think a lot of people literally have it wrong. They don't actually, they say people are gatekeeping, and they obviously don't know what that term really means. So could you just kind of start us there?
Well, gatekeeping is taking the knowledge that you have and not willing to teach or share with other people with what you know in order to help them grow as a person, especially in the fields that they're wanting to do. And so for me, I want to change that, because it's just we are not here for a very long time, so in order to help like younger generations and to help people that are good in that craft but want to get better at it, there's no reason to keep that knowledge, because where else is it going to go?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
just being honest. And so, I know that there's people that, take it as, oh, well, they're going to take my job. Oh, they're going to get better at me. And then, I'm going to lose everything. It doesn't work like that. That's where you build your communities. And that's where you have people that support other artists or crafts or welders or anything like that. You have your fun, you joke around, stuff like that. But at the end of the day, if someone's generally asking how to do something and you know how to do that, you should be comfortable enough and confident enough in yourself to be able to share that with other people.
Yes.
And so that's why I like to be like, hey, if you're like say you're having a problem with figuring out how to draw something, I have a list of pieces I want to do. I can share that list to people and be like, here, create your own thing with it. Pick a creature, pick an animal, pick something, get you out of that block. Or, hey, I don't know what's weld. Well, hey, let's make this. Let's make signs. Let's make, sculptures. Let's make,
Right.
So
Well,
it's
and here's the thing. Oils with Mick comes to mind. He's a guy here on TikTok that I had a conversation with one time, and he was telling me, and I've mentioned this before, and he's okay with me talking about this, but he was saying that for a long time, his art career, he saw it as a competition, and he didn't want to really necessarily share information with other people because he felt like that could take food off his family's table. He felt like that giving up the secrets could potentially, like you said, damage his thing. But then he came to realize that actually elevating other artists within the community made it more likely that his stuff would sell. There's a bigger picture at play here. There's a bigger things going on, right? In the broadest of terms, we don't have teams of lawyers, and like Laura is our HR department. Ash and I, anyway.
Yeah.
like we don't have we're not like big companies that have teams of people that handle all of that stuff. We have to do that. We create our own websites. We create our own logos and all that kind of stuff, all the way right down to t-shirts and designs and all that kind of thing. So by helping each other out, by working collaboratively, it actually elevates all of us. And I would argue that you can look at Chad Rev Art and Ashman and SA Artistries and Severed Art and Eve and all of those folks that work together a lot, how they keep up in their game, how they all keep getting better. Ash just dumped, I don't know, a dozen really amazing wood burning pieces on us that he did in the last couple weeks. Oh, Rick. Hey, buddy. So for you to be out there and be willing to teach folks, like we talked about this, I'm in Western North Carolina, which is furniture making country because of the forests that are here. And there are people here that want the profession to go on, that want those skills to get passed on and take pride in that. And then there are others that will absolutely hate you if you share any information because they, like we said, feel like it's a threat to their future. And I would argue that those are the people that are actually killing the industry, rather than the people who are. Yeah, poisoning the well. Exactly. It's just my opinion, but I think you are the antidote to that. I think you are the counter to that. Someone who's good at a lot of different things and is willing to share that knowledge in a kind way. There's not strings attached to when you help somebody out. There's not this condescension, or there's not like you're not doing videos of you giving something to, you know what I mean? Like you low key just handle your business and like the virtue of what you're doing helps people. Just who you are and the way you go about your business helps your community, helps your neighbor. Yep. So what motivates you to, you spoke on that just a little bit, but where does that come from? Like you by all rights have every reason to not like men, to, you know what I mean? To be bitter, to not trust people. Like the fact that you would come on here with three men and do this show, is like, kind of you. Like it is you having to go out, you having to go into somebody else's world, kind of, so to speak, and have enough trust to do that.
Well, when everything was said and done, I had a choice to make. I could either be the bitter, angry person, or I could just still be me and thrive from it. So not everybody is certain people. So it's not fair for me to be that way towards anybody. Not unless they're towards me that way first. So it's like, as we talked about, I have a 6-month rule. So, so I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, if it works, it works. If it don't, it don't,
The 6-month
but I
rule,
always
y'all.
give people,
Like, Ash and I are always talking about, we got to get to know you before we bring you up in the live, when we're doing those late nights. She got a 6 months rule, and I was telling her about our conversation when you and I first started, and how we just literally said to each other, man, we're gonna have to throw the rule books out here, because we're gonna have to trust each other from the beginning. We don't have time to spend years together to build the trust. We're about to be on camera together. We got to get it pretty quick.
We got about 6 minutes.
That is one of the best gambles I've ever made in my life, was betting on Chad Revart. No bullshit, for real. And it is so far out of my box. It's so far out of my comfort zone of how I would normally operate. And the same goes for Ashman. We reached out to Ashman, and we had to immediately involve him in all of our internal stuff, and just trust that he was going to do the right thing, and he has, of course. So for you to be in the leather work stuff and the welding stuff and the rebuilding car stuff, and you're out there out front helping people and sharing that information, while we know at the same time you're dealing with this gatekeeping thing. On one hand, you're being gatekept, and on the other hand, you're trying to break down that paradigm of gatekeeping. And man, that's got to be exhausting, because me and Chad and Ash get tired just on the little narrow stuff that we deal with. You got to be tired.
well, I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, I like proving people wrong in certain things. If that makes sense.
Chad. So does
Ash.
Ash.
Because it's like, well, I mean, it's like I said, knowledge is power, and a lot of people take that power to the extreme. To me, it's like, I'd rather just share it, because there's so much that I want to do, but I don't have the time for it.
Oh, yeah.
So to me, it's like, hey, if you want to do welding, hey, let's make some stuff. I got a list of stuff that maybe one day I'll get to. I have no freaking idea. But if you want to take a shot at it and see what you can do with it, there you go. If you need help, do it. To me, it's like, it's really interesting to create just based off, because everybody has a story, and how everybody processes and what they do and how they create the things that they create is not going to be the same as everybody else. So if you can give someone that spark, to get them to, oh, hey, let's do this. All right, this sounds exciting. Let's go. It's like, hey, that gives them motivation and gets them possibly out of something that we don't even know about.
Yes, you're
So
100%.
To me, it's like,
and
to me, it's like, hey.
I agree with Lenny. You still have to be careful. I agree, Lenny. Here's the thing, though. I think your 6-month rule makes a lot of sense, and it's kind of a built-in relief mechanism exactly for that. And it's what we were talking about earlier too. What Chad and Ash and I do, as far as, we no longer just bring anybody up. You got, like, people get mad at us. You got to be hanging around for a while for us to start bringing you up and alive, just because we've had such bad experiences trying to do that. And, the fact that you were able to teach your husband to weld and to airbrush, and then that got incorporated into your businesses, and y'all both thrived because of that. And it took him out of his comfort zone a little bit, and he was able to be gritty enough to make that happen. I got to give him credit on that, because some of us were raised in a world where that's an uncomfortable situation to be in. And it's just visceral. It's training. It's just, it is what it is. But the way that you're able to kind of navigate that. Do you have any advice for folks on if they feel like they're being gatekept or they feel like other people are gatekeeping? You have any advice on how to handle that?
Honestly, deal with it as if they're like a customer. You know, that's honestly the best way. Keep emotion out of it. Try and keep it, you know, strictly more on a business professional level. That way your feelings don't get hurt and their feelings don't get hurt. Because it's their choice whether to give that information or not. And there is people on this app who will give that information. So
Yeah.
to be respectful, you know, and just move on from it. Just move on from it. You know, I mean, that's just one person out of so many people that can offer
Right.
so much more than just one person.
Right.
You know,
Yeah, we were talking about it's just a numbers game, right? If you've got 1,000 followers, anybody that's had a job out of 10 people, one of them's probably going to be a jerk, you know, most likely. So if you got 1,000 followers, you know, that gives you 10 or 100 or whatever the numbers are. Or let's say it's only 10. All right. Well, you get a couple thousand followers. That's 20 people roaming around out there being a pain in the butt, you know? So, I think we agree with that whole concept of try, and if it don't work, move on. Because, for example, you do so many things. You work with a lot of different people, and you can't get caught up in everybody else's drama. We're in the same similar situation, right? But when you work with that many different people, it forces you to kind of think bigger picture, if that makes sense. To kind of remove yourself from them far enough that you can find something to agree on, and let's just work on that. Let's focus on that and not get caught up in all this other stuff. But I think that's a good approach at just life in general. Like, I've worked with people, I don't want to speak for anybody else, but I've worked with people on projects and realized during that process that this isn't someone I want to work with anymore. And it doesn't have to be a public spectacle. You don't have to say anything ugly about them or anything like that. It's just, hey, we're not going to, you know, that project was fun, but we're not going to do that again. And there's just some people that aren't willing or able to accept that. Like, literally, there are people out there that no is not something they're capable of accepting. There's got to be some flaw with you if you don't want to go down their path. And I would imagine that as a woman working on cars and welding and doing the leather work and that kind of stuff, you have to push back against that too, against that kind of condescension, that the way people word things when they speak to you.
and that's where, you know, proof is in the pudding. I don't come back with words. I come back with what I can do. And then that speaks for itself. It's like, well, you know, I'm sorry you feel that way, but come look at this. And then give me your opinion on it. You know, I mean, it's just, I ain't going to waste my time arguing with somebody.
Chad does that.
It's like, just come look at what I do.
I'm like, well, while you were talking shit, this is what I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I just, you know, it's like, you know, yeah, I am a girl, but hey, can you do this? If you can't, then, you know, let me teach you. That's like my ultimate response I got to is when someone's upset about something, they either don't understand what it is that I did or they want to learn how to do it. So then it's like, well, do you want to learn how to do it? Because I can help you with that. And then they kind of go, well, you know, it kind of puts it back on them to take accountability. So.
Yes, 100%. And, you know, this is kind of related. Rick makes a good point. He says he has trust for everyone, and sometimes that's his mistake, and it gets taken advantage of. Absolutely. We see that all the time. Like, Rick is a great example. He's a super nice guy. Rick was on the very first Ginn Project show ever, and he was a return guest on the show, and we'll have him again sometime when we run through all Chad's folks. But Rick is one of those people who is always kind, is always out there supporting other artists. He's always shouting out other artists. He does all of those things, right? There is not a reason in the world not to be nice to Rick, but he still has to put up with bullshit. Like, it's crazy.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
A ton of it. And the thing about it is we don't want to give up. Like, I want my first instinct to be kindness, not hatefulness. I want my first, I grew up, we talked about this a little. I grew up among people that always had this fantasy about somebody was going to break into their house and try to take something, and they were going to save the day. And they spent their whole lives worried about that, and they're gone now, and it never happened. That's not to say it isn't ever going to happen, but I work with people with a variety of needs for long enough to know that sometimes people get confused and end up in the wrong place. Senior citizens, people that have been given new medications, daughters that are out on a date who have been drugged. There's all kinds of examples of people knocking on the wrong door and paying a heavy price for that. And I think you're coming from the same place. You want your first instinct to be to help. That doesn't make you a sucker. That doesn't make you a mark.
You sucker. No, I'm kidding.
You got to have those boundaries, right? And you are someone who is willing to hold someone accountable. We talked about that yesterday too, which is also a difficult position to be in, right? Because folks don't like to get held accountable, and some dude working on his car definitely don't like to be held accountable by some lady coming up telling him what to do in some circles, right?
Yeah.
So there's this fine line that you have to walk, right? You want to be open and accessible and available because you're kind and you want to share that information. But also, Rick makes a good point. There are people that try to take advantage of that, which is why you got to have boundaries. And one of your boundaries is the 6 months rule. And guys, the clock started on me yesterday. So in 6 months, we're going to find out whether or not we passed the test here. But
all right.
But that's a very sensible approach.
Maybe.
Because everybody's acquaintances, but trust is an earned thing. It's not just given. If you work with people and stuff like that, and you're just starting out, getting to know them and stuff like that, there's that little bit of trust there from starting out. It just shows, as time goes on, exactly who they are. And usually by that 6 months, not really many make it, because then the true colors show through that. So it's a protection for me. So in that way, there's no emotional part in it. So if it's business, I know how to separate business from personal. So if we're doing business and things don't work out on the personal side, it's like, hey, we're still doing business, but this ain't gonna work out as far as this goes. So you can move on from that side. But as far as the business side goes, we're gonna keep this professional, and then it just goes from there. So if that kind of helps on that.
I think some young artists can put what you just said on repeat and play that over and over again to themselves, right?
Yep.
Basically, give your best effort, but if it don't work out, be willing to move on. Like, it don't, all of us have had to do that.
That's the thing, is that in my experience at such a young age with the stuff that I've had to go through, life is way too short for all of that animosity, all of that hate, taking it out on people that you don't even know, or it's just there's no need for it. I mean, it's like, hey, there's too much to do in life. There's too much that we have to try and accomplish as ourselves as people before we leave this earth. So, make the most of your time and not waste it on, not understanding what it is other people do, because who cares?
Right.
What I mean? If they're not actually part of your physical life, then why? Sorry.
That's the truth.
100%.
Message.
100%. I think it's so interesting. You're in a unique position to have a unique perspective, because so many of the things that you do, like we've said several times, is male-dominated areas, and you're good at it, and that's a threat. Simply put.
Well, I mean, then they should take that threat and learn from it, and be like, hey, don't be scared to ask questions. If you want to know something, ask me. What's the worst I'm going to say? No. Oh, it's so scary. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's what Mr.
Well,
Rogers said. Look for the helpers, you know?
Yeah.
Look for the people who want
Yeah.
to help you. And the people that don't, just move on, you
It's
know?
just don't be afraid to ask. I'm willing
Yeah.
to teach if you're willing to learn. That's the thing. I have nothing to hide. You know, if you're interested in something, we'll figure it out. If I don't know how to do it, then we can find someone who does.
And isn't
Yes.
it great when you see that spark when they do get what you're talking about and they get
Yes.
excited and then they can cruise and they're just going
Yeah.
with it. That's amazing
And
to
then,
pass
and
that
then what
on.
they create out of it. That
Yeah.
to me is what's the most exciting for me is that if they take, you know, like say they pick something from the list that I have and they turn it into this gorgeous piece, it's like, hey, I helped them get out of whatever it is they were stuck with. You know?
yes.
Yeah.
And
Oh, yeah.
they're able to open up their mind farther in regards to creating different stuff as well, because then it just starts, you get sparks everywhere, like, oh, let's do this, all right, let's make lists.
Yeah.
You know, it gives them that excitement and happiness in themselves to do something different and better for themselves.
Yeah.
That they can provide for the world that other people might not even see that.
That's an amazing gift, Daisy. I mean, that is an amazing gift to share with the world, truly, because that is you just truly giving of yourself. Like you're giving a part of yourself, of your time, your resources, your effort, your emotional energy, your, you know, all of that, all of that. You know, we talked a little bit about this. You do something really special, in my opinion, and I'm gonna try to set it up here. When I was writing training programs, one of the things that I was able to do is lend my clients credibility. So, like, if I would go somewhere publicly, I would introduce them as my friend, and that would automatically kind of give them a boost in a lot of ways, because a lot of the people I worked with didn't get treated that way very often. And to see people that were basically shut down because the system had just either told them no or didn't care so much that their defense mechanism, and to see them starting to build confidence and starting to kind of excel at things, and then that builds more excellence and more attempts and more trying, which also brings more failures, but the confidence to try again, right? And
Yeah.
that is a life-changing thing. That is a life-changing gift that you give to people, and it has to be done thoughtfully, and you're able to do that, which is so wonderful. The fact that you are able to take part of who you are, even in a negative situation, and lend that other person some of your credibility, essentially. Like, hey, I know how to do this. I can help you out if you want me to, and then you'll be excellent at this as well when you run with it. And I want you to be better than I'll ever be at it. Is your attitude, and that I sincerely believe brings hope and makes the world a truly better place. Fellas,
I don't even know what to say about it. I don't take compliments very well. Sorry.
Hadn't noticed.
Yeah, not at all. Not at all.
I mean, I just try and do what should have been done for me, for other people.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah.
wow,
There you go.
right on. So, do you by any chance have any art at all that you might be willing to share with us on this journey that we're on?
What category do you
I don't.
want?
I
I'm
don't
just
want you to
kidding.
run out of
Yes.
time. I love this conversation. I just want to make sure.
What category do you
I don't.
want?
I don't want you to run out of
Yes.
time. I love this conversation. I just want to make sure that we get some of your art in there too, so that you got that.
So here's the saw blades. I sent you a picture of this.
Oh,
Isn't that dope, man? Look at this.
that is
Oh.
Batman, the animated series. I love
Remember, take your time, Hoof. This is your show, so
yeah.
we're in no hurry. Hold it up there. Let them see it let them take it in. Hold it up a little bit higher, and it'll be out of the chat. There you
There
go.
we go.
Perfect.
it. Nice.
Oh, Two-Face, Joker.
That is Mark Hamill's Joker. That is awesome.
Yes.
Let's hear it, Ash.
No, I'm not gonna.
I know, I can't.
I can't.
Oh, sure you can, Ash.
And then this
How's it going, bats? That's my best Joker.
Good job, Ash.
I don't know,
Fantastic.
I don't know if you guys play any video games, but this is from Horizon Zero Dawn.
Oh, nice.
I'm a gamer as well. I like video games, but this is the tall neck from it
Oh, that is.
that I sculpted.
Is that clay?
Epoxy
And you
clay,
painted it?
Yep.
That is dope. I hadn't seen that, y'all. That's cool. I love it. That looked like something
then-
Chad would dream up in his crazy brain.
Well, I love the creatures that they created in the game, so I want to do the whole collection. That's the tall neck. I did the Tide Ripper. That came out really cool. I sold that one. I need to make another one because that was really awesome. I really like the Tide Ripper. And then we got crocheting.
That's awesome. Platypus.
It's so cool.
Nice.
Hold on.
And then we were talking
Oh, this
He's
guy
like,
right
hold-
here. Dude. It's
that
a
Grim
Grim
from-
Reaper.
Is that? It's Grim.
Can you believe it? So, y'all, she has a link tree and all kinds of pages and stuff. But if you go into my bio in the link tree, you can find the first one is Hoof Pickles. You can also find all these other amazing people on there too. But the very first one right now is Hoof Pickles. You can go there, click on. You can find links for commissions or to purchase stuff that she has. Frames that she made.
And this is Beetle Kill.
Pine beetles, right? Is it
Pardon?
pine beetles?
Beetle Kill. Yeah. I got a bunch of these. And just so you can kind of see the size, so Ginn, when you get your dragon, it's going to be in one of these.
Dragon! I'm gonna get a dragon, y'all!
Nice.
This is gonna be awesome.
Well, and you want the guitar strap to match it, right?
Oh, absolutely.
With the dragon as well.
Absolutely.
And
Whatever you
then
dream
I do
up.
binder covers.
Oh, cool.
Oh, that's awesome.
This is out of leather.
That's
I was about to
leather?
ask.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
This is all.
Look at the
hand painted.
stitching.
Yeah.
Holy
Yeah.
crap, it's all stitched all around it.
Now, is that like punch style? Or are you doing like different layers of leather when you do that? Like how are you accomplishing getting like the 3D there?
This, well, it's the stamping. So,
Okay.
I don't know if you can remember it.
Yeah.
So when you stamp it, the deeper you go, the more kind of 3D-ish look it gives it.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
So it kind of
That's cool.
How do you get the
And
color?
then just like with acrylic paint.
Gotcha.
It's just like
Right on. Right on.
cool.
I literally did not know. I didn't have a clue. That's awesome.
And then, like with Flex's, I still haven't got it sent off. So Flex, if you're in here, I'm waiting on my ink so I can get some stickers printed. But I gotta get his guitar straps.
Flex
sent
Flare?
Wow.
off.
Wow, right
This
on.
is his practice.
That's awesome.
Oh, wow.
So this is the practice piece for him that I got finished.
Oh, wow.
And the back is upholstery. So I have upholstery pieces that I've incorporated into it. I know we were talking about this yesterday, so when I send you yours with the velvet on the back, just let me know if it's comfortable enough on the shoulder when you're,
Heck yeah.
messing.
Heck yeah.
Because that way I know if I need to go thicker on foam or whatever it is I need to do. Because this was the first style. As you can see, this is why I don't like it. Look at. Okay, that don't look right. Okay,
What?
that looks really kind of inappropriate. So we created a more girthier style.
Ah, I get it now. All right.
Oh,
So this is red that I redid. And so as you can kind of tell the difference after it's gonna have the round braid on it.
yeah.
it's more girthier, so it'll be more clean.
Right.
I don't know if that makes
Yeah.
sense. So Old West is one who makes these.
Oh, cool. What's up?
And help.
Right on. Old West was in the chat. Oh, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
And so
Put your hand up, Old West.
The
Everybody
first
can
one I
add
did-
you.
Yes, y'all definitely follow Old West. If he's still in here, give him a follow. Put your hand up, Old West, if you're in here.
And so he's been my mentor on the leather roll. So we've been talking a lot about creating different designs, different styles, things how we can make it better, especially for clients, and just kind of sending it, because nothing in regards to traditional world whatsoever, but I want to create stuff that's more manly. I know that might sound wrong. I'm sorry if it comes out wrong.
No.
But I mean, I'm not a flower person, me personally. So it's like that's why I kind of want to create different patterns, different styles.
I love it.
Oh, yeah.
That is awesome.
Yeah, it is.
So this is going to have velvet on the backing, and it's going to be round braided as well. And then same thing with flexes, who I started. Jen, I'll be doing your outline on yours as well. You'll also be getting a practice piece too.
Oh, wow.
All my pieces,
Great
I always do a practice. So this is Flex's work in progress right now that I'm working on.
Did you know that dude? Did you know he is so good paint won't get on him?
I know, that's why he wants to wait. We've had, me and
Paint won't even get
had
on
this
him.
conversation. I'm
Paint
like,
is scared of him.
hey, I think it's great.
Yeah, Lilu, right? Yes, Lilu. It looks like I was thinking dragon or snake or like scaly kind of skin. It's cool. That's where my head went to. Right, Severed? Amazing, right? Like unbelievable.
And then this
Whoa.
is tooled on leather.
Yo,
Wow.
dude.
Heck yeah.
It has the 3D look where it's uplifted in certain spots, and that way it makes it pop more.
That is cool.
That is
Wow.
And this is Shenron. He's my favorite. I'm a huge DBZ man.
I was going to ask those Dragon
Yep.
Ball.
cool. Dragon Balls? Oh, I've heard of that.
Dragon-
Right on.
Yep.
Dragon Ball Z.
Huge DBZ man.
I'm behind the
Yeah,
curve
man.
on the nerdy stuff. I'm trying to learn.
I don't keep up with
Well,
it, but I
there's
used to
anything-
geek out on the game really bad.
Oh yeah. Then we got a project over there that we're storing. This is all. This is all the hubby. This is his work. Let me flip this.
Oh,
Okay.
Right on.
now, keep in mind, folks, she taught her husband to airbrush as well. Ooh, I like that right there. That's cool.
That's awesome.
If anybody knows who this is, come on.
It's Christine.
Yeah, think about it. Supernatural,
Oh.
the baby.
Oh, nice.
Awesome.
So
Oh, hell yeah.
Look at that hand. Ah. Look at that. That almost looked like a Chad Squatch.
he's still doing the other side. This is a 84 6.9 IDI. And so this side is going to be completely different.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's so cool.
That's what's up.
And then we had to. Huge Star Wars fan here.
Nice.
But
Oh,
Yes.
heck yeah.
Yes.
and then our C3 vet, C3 vet we're restoring. Then we got to finish.
Pretty.
And then we got CB900. There's parts everywhere. Sorry.
Ah,
Hey, that's a shot.
good.
Yeah.
That's work. It
We
happened.
got to.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, and we're in the process right now of getting some land and then getting a bigger shop. So, and that's all got to be welded. So it's going to be a total of a 90 by 100 shop and then 3 houses.
Yeah.
3 houses that you're building?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
All barnuminium.
In your spare time?
Yeah.
Do you
You say
sleep?
barnuminium?
Yeah, 3 barnuminium houses in a shop. Because we purchased 12 acres, so that way we can put a bigger shop. Because this is almost a 40 by 60, so we're needing like a 90 by 100.
Wow.
That's awesome. So, tell folks how to get in touch with you if they and like the leatherwork stuff, for example, if they wanted to. Do you do commissions?
Yeah, you can hit me up on here. You can hit me up on Facebook. I do have a Hoof Pickles Facebook page. I'm trying to take everything that I do. I'm trying to put it all on Hoof Pickles page because I have too many other pages.
Good idea.
Yeah.
Kira Wilson, who is in the chat, would tell you to do that for sure.
Well, I've been moving everything that we've done over there. Like, I have a whole bunch of motor rebuilds that we've done. I got a whole bunch of bikes that we've redone. I've got a whole, there's a lot, and it's like, I can't keep going to different pages, so everything's going to be on Hoof Pickles, but we do have different business,
There she is.
business pages.
Kira, streamline.
Streamline.
Yes. Hoof Pickles. It's got to be Hoof Pickles no matter where you go. Wherever it is, it's Hoof Pickles. Yes.
Yep, so that's what it's all turning into, so I can get rid of the other ones, because by the time it's all said and done and everything's set up, there'll be a total of like 7 different companies between the family. So,
Awesome.
I'm the one who manages all that, so it's going to be just on one page.
Awesome. Eve just went through that process. Eve is in the chat, and her and Kira had a conversation, and Eve just went through the process of exactly that. So good on you. Good on you.
You put it in.
So, Hoof Pickles was also kind enough. She was going to take questions from the chat if anybody had any, and from Chad and Ash if you guys, thought of anything while we were talking. Yes, you did, Kira. She sure did. I absolutely love what you do and who you are and how you do it. Like, I just dig the fact that you do a variety of things. I think we need people in the world that are good at more than one thing.
Yes.
Yes. This whole specialization and you're only good at one thing I don't think helps in most situations.
Well, and if you give it a shot, the thing is that you can incorporate that in different realms that you don't realize. Like with me doing leatherwork, is what I'm doing right now with guitar straps what I originally wanted to do? Absolutely not. I wanted to do leather seats and tools and all that stuff. But, I love that I'm able to do this because then it helps me grow as well.
Yes.
Like, you just got to take that chance. If you're like, oh, well, I think I'm going to like this, send it. Give it a shot. What's the worst? You don't like it?
There it is.
But make sure that you don't.
Yes.
When you try something, you don't have to spend a ton of money to try it. That's the thing that irritates the crap out of me.
Oh, yeah.
Is, like with upholstery. I started off with a $50 sewing machine.
Yeah.
And some Hobby Lobby freaking upholstery.
Right.
Yeah.
Laura
was asking,
and then now I've grown with it because I actually really like it. And so just like with leather, I didn't know if I was going to like it. So I bought, some cheaper tools. I bought some cheap leather and I was like, oh, heck yeah, I actually like this. So then, the process with that is to go from something like cheap leather and you stamp it, it's harder to stamp. So just imagine if you can stamp that, what you can do with better leather and what you can create with that. Because in a way, leather's kind of like all of my favorite realms, which is painting. I love painting. I love sculpting. So when you do a piece like this, you're also sculpting it.
Yeah.
So it's like it's all of the realms that I like to do all in one. So And so I was like, hey, this is actually pretty sweet. And how I'm going to incorporate that with metal and stuff like that, I'm not sure, but I'm definitely going to figure it out because I have quite a few ideas on that as well, where it's like, let's incorporate these couple things and see what we can do.
Guys, this is why I wanted her on the show right here. I don't know that I necessarily have questions for you. More so, just comment. Like, guys, like, this is why I wanted Hoof Pickles on the show, is because she kind of takes everything by the horns and does what she wants. And
She knows what she
does
wants.
many,
Love it.
she does many practices of many things that are intertwined, and she tries new things. That's how I found out I could carve and sculpt, guys, is exactly what she's talking about right now. And I'm going through what she's talking about right now because I'm reaching out into new things that aren't exactly new. You know, I have, you know, some welding experience. I have some molding and casting experience. I have, you know, it's like you said, I'm going to figure out how to use this in a manner that crosses up with something that I already know. And
Or you incorporate it too. Like you could take your welding with your pieces and you could fabricate them and mold them and incorporate that in your pieces.
yes.
And turn it into like lamps or, you know, coat hangers or, you know.
I'm exactly in the middle of doing
Your
exactly
brain
that right
is
now.
just going crazy right now with more ideas than you had before.
Yes.
Hey,
Yes.
Ash, I think you were going to ask Laura's question earlier, buddy.
Oh,
Is
yeah.
that- I think that's where
Oh,
you
my
were
bad.
headed.
Yeah,
with that.
Laura was asking if there was ever a favorite piece you
No,
ever
no
did.
way.
If there was a favorite piece I ever did, my first one.
The
Right?
coffee table, the coffin
Yeah.
coffee table with the elephant on it.
I gotta see this piece.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't-
you do.
like, you gotta send it to me. You gotta do something at some point.
Yeah, I'll send it to you. But I'll
There's,
message you off here and then
Welding, coffins.
It's cool, man. It's
Yeah.
cool.
I'm in.
It's cool.
Like,
I
sign
also
me up.
elephants.
Take my money.
I like what she said about materials because a lot of artists, you know, we get the cheapest materials we can, right? But there is something about not necessarily buying the overpriced stuff that probably isn't worth it, but getting that nice mid-grade that you can actually work with and do something quality with. You know, that's one of the things that I used to struggle with because I'd buy the really cheap stuff and I'd be upset. But, you know, you do gain more knowledge working with the crappier stuff because when you
Yeah.
get to the good
Yeah,
stuff,
it's crazy.
yeah, your skill set is up here because you had to be better with it. So,
Right.
Yeah. Because you had to figure out how to make that work. And so, you know, and that's a lot of different materials that we work with too. You know, you might get crappy metal. You don't freaking know until you actually cut into it.
Right.
You
Right.
know?
yeah.
So it's like you just gotta try and work with what you got. And if you can figure that out, then you can kind of pretty much work with anything. You know? Like, that's why I say it's like if anybody's interested in leather, give it a shot. It'll cost you like $100 if that to
And-
try it.
Can I just say that you're going to have available soon kits if people wanted to get started leather working, kind of like Eve has a little. Eve has a little set of paintbrushes and a palette and the palette knives and stuff. You're about to have a starter kit that will be available for people that want to get into leather work. Am I accurate there?
Yeah. Yep. Because to me, it's like I know that you'll talk to different leather workers, and it's not that they're wrong or anything like that. But for me personally, considering where I started from and not knowing any leather person whatsoever when I started in it, I just went with, okay, well, this is cheap. Okay, it's within, you know, a budget that I can work with, so that way I don't feel bad if I don't like it. You know, I don't think someone should have to spend hundreds and thousands of dollars on something that they don't even know if they're going to like.
Great point.
Just to give it a shot.
Great point.
I'd rather be out like $100 than, you know, like $2,000.
Yeah.
But
You know, so
I have equipment in this shop that came from people that bought stuff that didn't ultimately end up using it.
yeah, and so it's like don't waste your money on something if you don't like it. If you do like it and you can actually manage that, then go up as you continue to grow yourself in it.
Yes.
That way, you you're not wasting all that time and that money that you could have used towards something else that you needed.
And
I
that
bought
also is
sample
not
sizes of I bought sample sizes of clay when I made my orders. There's just a few pounds, like 3 or 4 pounds instead of like 25.
I
Yep,
want
I
to work
s-
with
I
Dayglow
started off
colors.
with-
So I bought a small
So what-
little bit of Dayglow rather than buying the big bottles that I'm gonna
Will
be
you-
like, oh man, I didn't like what it
Will you like
did.
it?
Yeah.
and I
It's like, and if you guys are interested in the glow in the dark stuff, if you want to add that, incorporate it into that, please message me first, because I've spent so much money on freaking glow in the dark on game boards that I created. So I don't want you guys to waste your money trying to figure out what works and what doesn't as well.
right on.
Yep.
Yeah, nice.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And
Yeah.
anybody in the chat got any? I mean, this is a great resource. If you have any questions, this lady knows. She can tell you. Glow cube for oil paints. It should be in glow paint. Right on.
For acrylics.
Yeah,
There it is.
that's awesome. Blue. Heck yeah. And that's what this is about, recommendations and stuff like that. I love it when people do that. It's nice seeing that change, especially like compared to, being on platforms like this, we don't see everybody in person. So actually dealing with people in the real world and how they are, it's really different than being on here.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's fact.
I always talk about that we're curated here. We have an
Yes.
image here and we have a persona. I try and be as honest as possible about who I am, but
Sure.
you're always going to go out into the real world and you're going to be exactly who you are. That's all there is to it compared to here where we curate ourselves.
Yep. It's
Well, we had a whole strategy. I mean, Chad and I, like for the Ginn Project show, we made decisions like no politics, no religion, for example, trying to create spaces where people wouldn't argue. And there's sometimes you got to set the table for folks, right? Like you set the kind of conditions or the expectations and hold them to that standard when they're in your spot. We decided that we were going to kind of run our lives as if they were extensions of our shops. If in my case, my shop is in my home, my basement of my home, I don't just let anybody walk in my house. I don't let just anybody walk in my shop, and I don't just let anybody walk in my chat acting a fool. Right? So there's got to be boundaries. There's got to be, and the other phenomenon is everybody isn't on here for the same reason. Some people are on here just to have fun, to totally get away from work. So those of us that are on here working are like on the opposite end of the spectrum from those folks, and we got to respect that too.
Yeah.
They're just here to have fun, to kind of get away. So the fact that you're so collaborative by nature of what you're doing, I think is necessary too, because that's what grows communities. That's how you grow communities. I don't know if that's your intention, but you grow communities by doing things the way that you're doing them, and you can see that by the folks in the chat here to support you.
I appreciate everybody that's in here too. That means a lot. It does. It's an honor to be on here.
I'm so happy you
And to
agreed.
be able to- I was kind of shocked, honestly, when I was like, "Oh, hey!" I was like, "It's awesome." I really appreciate
there's
it.
not an artist out there that would fit more. Like it's very simple. The two things that we're looking for are people that are serious about what they do and people that are helping others along the way. And that's where people get kind of mixed up in the deal. If they don't have that second part, they're not going to be on the show. Like, it's just how it is. Yes, you can be real serious about what you're doing, but if you're not helping anybody else along the way, you're not building communities. And you're not helping to create spaces for people to be creative, which is what we're trying to do. And another strategy that we had is, because I used to teach, and I've taught everything from, preschool all the way to college. I I decided that the Ginn Project show, for my part, was going to be on about a fifth grade level, because the average American is on a fifth or sixth grade comprehension level. That's just the reality. That's just the data.
That never clicked until you told me that too.
That,
by the way, I was like,
that's where we are.
Sense.
Like, so if you're on here being a college professor, then you're going over the heads of a whole bunch of people that are on here. And that's nothing against them. That's just their world. Like,
sure.
And here's how that happens. Yeah. My mom had me as a teenager, which meant she had to drop out of school back at that day and time, and she ended up getting a GED. And she has worked her whole life in the restaurant business. And, who knows what she would have been had she not had a child and had to go that other route. But the reality is that it put some limitations on her opportunities, right? That's just what happened. And so for you, and you're also a mom, which is important to note. You are, and Chad is a proud father of a daughter, which very much informs how he moves in the world. And you being a mother informs how you move in the world. And I think, look, everybody that can have kids isn't a good parent. Sorry. I know that's a controversial take, but just because a person can have children don't mean they know a damn thing about how to be a parent. And
it's about how you.
So having competent people out there who are able to find that balance between being a parent, being an artist, still being a good husband or wife, or a sibling or neighbor or whatever, is important. And you are a leader in what you do, and that's a big responsibility. And it isn't something you asked for. It's just something that was kind of thrust upon you, so to speak. So I admire what you do and how you do it, because everybody can't. Everybody just doesn't have the patience, and it takes a strong will to have the patience that you have to deal with the myriad of people that you have to deal with, especially like three knuckleheads here.
Oh, y'all are easy. What are you talking about?
Well, is there anything that we haven't brought up that you wanted to bring up before we run out of time? Or is there anything that I've gotten wrong that we need to get corrected before we send folks off?
I don't think so. I think we've covered everything.
How do people get in touch with you? Let's do that again.
You can contact me either on here on TikTok, or you can contact me on Facebook. I have Hoof Pickles on Facebook there. If you want to contact me there with any questions or anything. I'm also on Etsy. I have some stuff on there. I need to upload more stuff. I got a lot of stuff I need to do. I'm trying to organize all the time.
Oh.
Definitely a fun balancing act trying to do all this between 4 kids and currently 4 businesses. So,
well, not all heroes wear capes.
Pardon?
I said not all heroes wear capes, dear.
I wouldn't go that far.
Well,
humility is also something that is in her repertoire, gentlemen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I brought you here because I knew you'd be an inspiration to folks. So I hope you know that. That's.
Well, and like I said, if y'all ever get stuck or something, or if you're trying to figure out something, especially Chad, if you're dibbling back into the welding, definitely let me know, because that makes me excited for you. Just because of what you've created so far, I could just imagine only what you could do with it. And if you need help with trying to figure out how to mold something or fabricate it into a specific way, just let me know. I'd love to help.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna be digging around in your brain. Get ready.
Oh yeah.
Get ready. It's gonna happen.
Be like, and just be like, hey, I have this design. What can we do with metal? Be like, oh, we could just wrap it, or we could turn it into spot. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
My brain's already just like, pew.
I'll share with you. We'll get together and I'll share with you the gear that I've collected and the plot that is turning. Should be fun.
Yes.
Should be fun.
She's a sculptor too, Chad. She's a sculptor too, man. She knows all that stuff. You better be careful, dude. She might get your job. I'm teasing, man.
Okay.
Do some gatekeeping here. Do some gatekeeping.
Right.
Hey, I'll give him design ideas, and he can just make it.
Heard that.
There you go.
Here, give this a shot, see what it works. Because I ain't got time for it. I got like 5 things on my sculpting list that I want to do, and I ain't got the freaking time to do it. I got all this leather stuff to do.
Yeah.
Chad's wife just had an encounter with a deer. They could probably use that truck right behind you.
Yeah. I am truck shopping right now.
He's in Southwest Missouri. Maybe y'all
I'm
could.
like I could spit to Oklahoma from here.
I could see that dude driving around in that truck. Awesome. Well, Ash, you got anything, buddy?
No, yeah, I think you're just an inspiration, and everything you do is freaking cool. It's just freaking cool to see all that stuff. You know, leather working, welding. I love the truck. Like I said, I'm a big car guy, so, and the Corvette hiding in the back. That's just awesome. That's just awesome. So yeah.
Well, we got CV900 over here beside me. The motor's sitting right there.
I get it.
Chad
Chad
Squatch.
Squatch to the truck, Meryl.
Chad Squatch. So
I might just start doing content where I'm just walking through the woods behind my house
There
from
you
like
go.
behind one tree to the next.
There you go, man.
it's gonna be
Don't
perfect.
do that. Two different colors.
Well,
Good Lord.
thanks to everybody for coming in and hanging out. Thanks to everybody. Make sure to follow each other. And as a guy that's gonna be making guitars, the guitar strap thing would be cool. So I do plan on anybody that asks me about guitar straps, I'm just gonna send them to Hoof Pickles. And hey, look, that's who you need to talk to. That's the lady to talk to for sure. So you will hear more. What our plan is to do what we always do and continue to shout you out. You got our number. If you ever need anything, reach out. I'll say it publicly what I told you privately. Hold me accountable. I believe in you. I think Chad and Ash believe in you as well. We really appreciate what you're out there doing and how you're doing it. More importantly, almost, is how you're doing it. And because you are growing the world, making it a better place, and I very much appreciate it. I have so much respect for you. Thank you so much for being on the show. We really appreciate it.
Yes.
I appreciate you having me on here. I really do. It's an honor. Worthy to know.
Thank you so much for kicking off this month of my guests. I appreciate you greatly.
I'm going to put these guys on the spot here, but they're professionals. So I'm going to be quiet. And if we could, would you just say something in the affirmative to get people to go check out Hoof Pickles page? Chad, start with you, man. Give us one of your go check out Hoof Pickles, you know.
Tuesday. Today is Tuesday.
No, okay, for real though, y'all. July is Chad Picks the guest month on the Ginn project, and this is what I kicked it off with. So take note, please. Like he said already, I didn't just choose her because of her art. I chose her because of her plethora of practices and the way that she moves about the people around her. I really kind of like to try to think on more than one level at a time when and if I can. And I really felt that Hoof Pickles deserved to come in here and show you guys not only what she does, but hopefully inspire you guys to do your own thing as well. So go over,
100%.
go now. You don't even have to wait till the end of the show. Go now. Whatever Ash is gonna say, it's only important because he's saying about hoof pickles. Other than that, show's over.
Thanks for that, Chad.
I love you, Ash. I'm just playing.
Go over to Hoof Pickles page so you can pick up leather guitar straps and more. She's an amazing person as well.
Yes. Please, if you would, go by and check out Hoof Pickles' site. She's amazing. She does all kinds of different things. You'll appreciate it. Stop by, support a fellow artist.
Yes.
Hoof Pickles, thank you so much. Appreciate you. Chad Rev Art, you're the man. Love you, brother. Ash Man, love you, brother.
Big love, homie.
Appreciate you. Ash Man, will you be on late tonight?
Of course I will be.
Ash Man will be on
10
1
o'clock
o'clock
Pacific,
1 o'clock Eastern. I may or may not be there. We'll see what happens. This is Tuesday, and I'm usually running pretty ragged by Tuesday, so we'll see what happens. I plan on catching up with Ashman tonight, though. Chad, Ashman has a show tomorrow, too, 7 o'clock Eastern time. Check out Ashman's Basic Art Show, and he usually does about an hour of art, and then he brings folks up. But again, I'll remind you, you got to kind of know the guy. You got to be around for a little while. Had some bad experiences in the past bringing people up. So come hang out with us, get to know us, and eventually that can happen. But Ashman's Basic Art Show, 7 o'clock Eastern time tomorrow night. And then you can catch him late night, 10 o'clock Pacific time, 1 o'clock Eastern time, almost every night. The dude's going to be on there making something really cool. Turn on your notifications for Chad Rev Art. He's got stuff cooking up. It's the mad scientist. Don't sleep on this dude. I'm telling you. And please, please, please go support our good friend Hoof Pickles. We plan on supporting her. You'll be able to catch the thing over on YouTube that we just did here and go back and pick up some more of that great information she was willing to share with us. And it's under the Ginn Project. Thank you, everybody, for coming in. Thank you for the taps, the likes, the shares, all the gifts that you brought in. Thank you, Ezra. We know you were here, man. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you to everybody in the chat. Thank you, Kira. Thank you, Mondo. Thank you, Severed. Thank you, Eve, Lilu, Laura, Can Do, Rick the Muse. We love you, brother. Hope you're doing all right. And if I missed anybody, Enigma's up in here. And if I missed anybody, I'm sorry. Woodworker, Jason Woodworker, good to see you. Thanks to everybody. What's your favorite color? Do you have one?
Me, navy blue.
Could you please drop blue hearts in the chat on the way out? Get a couple screenshots so that we can show some love to Hoof Pickles. We're looking for blue hearts. There we go. Thank you, Kira.
Here they
Please
come.
fill up the chat with blue hearts. We'll get some screenshots. That way we have evidence that the community loves this lady. Look at that. That's awesome. There you go,
There you go.
guys. Amazing.
Thanks everyone for the
Amazing.
I didn't even know there was a blue heart. I'm like,
They found it quick. There's Old West Armory right there. Awesome. Screenshots, y'all. Screenshots. This wonderful human being. Thanks for showing her love, y'all. She's
You
incredible.
guys don't forget to go by and see Johnny Ray before you're done tonight.
Johnny Ray, we love you. All doors always open. Phone's always available to you. Rick the Muse, good to see you, buddy. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for the hearts. Take care of each other. Look out for your neighbor. It don't matter whether you like them or not. Look out for your neighbor. Much love,
That's right.
everybody. Thank you, Hoof Pickles.
Big love.